Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour. Millions take holy dip or Amrit Snan at Maha Kumbh, the world's largest spiritual congregation at Prayagraj in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches Mission MOSUM to improve India's weather forecasting. Strong winds are forecast to return and threaten Los Angeles area's fight against fires. And US President Biden says a Gaza ceasefire and hostage deal in sight. Negotiators to meet in Doha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched Mission MOSUM in New Delhi on Tuesday. It marks a milestone in the 150th Foundation Day celebrations of the India Meteorological Department. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
Step towards building a weather-ready and climate-smart nation, Prime Minister Narendra Modi unveiled Mission MOSUM. This groundbreaking initiative was launched as part of the celebrations commemorating 150 years of the India Meteorological Department, showcasing India's commitment to advancing weather science and climate resilience.
भविष्य में भारत मौसम की हर परिस्थिति के लिए तैयार रहे, भारत एक क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट राष्ट्र बने, इसके लिए हमने मिशन मौसम भी लॉन्च किया है। मिशन मौसम सस्टेनेबल फ्यूचर और फ्यूचर रेडीनेस को लेकर भारत की प्रतिबद्धता का भी प्रतीक है।
Prime Minister released a commemorative stamp and coin to honor IMD's 150 years legacy. PM Modi also unveiled the IMD Vision 2047 document, a forward-looking roadmap aimed at enhancing weather forecasting, combating climate change, and implementing adaptive strategies to safeguard the nation's future. Prime Minister Modi also launched a coffee table book.
प्राकृतिक आपदाओं के प्रभाव को मिनिमाइज करने के लिए हमें मौसम विज्ञान की एफिशिएंसी को मैक्सिमाइज करने की जरूरत होती है। भारत ने लगातार इसकी अहमियत को समझा है। आज हम उन आपदाओं की दिशा को मोड़ने में कामयाब हो रहे हैं जिन्हें पहले नियति कहकर छोड़ दिया जाता था। बीते वर्षों में देश में कितने ही बड़े-बड़े साइक्लोन आए, आपदाएं आई, लेकिन ज्यादातर में हम जान हानि को जीरो या मिनिमल करने में सफल हुए।
With Mission MOSUM and IMD Vision 2047, India is charting a bold path towards a climate-resilient tomorrow.
These initiatives are not just about the technology and the science, but they are also about empowering citizens to adopt, respond, and thrive in an era of rapid environmental challenges. With camera person Praveen, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
All right, joining us is Dr. K.J. Ramesh, a former Director General of the India Meteorological Department. Dr. Ramesh, welcome to DD India News Hour. What is Mission MOSUM all about?
Mission MOSUM is targeting India to take it to a weather-ready nation and then making it country resilient to face the disasters by making the people to understand how to get ready about facing the extreme weather. And so far we were all focusing on what weather will be by forecasting. Now Mission MOSUM will take us to a direction, new direction of informing the people what weather will do to them, how it impacts them, and how impacts their environment, how it impacts their agriculture, and how it impacts their surroundings. So it will be an impact built, risk informed services which IMD will be rolling out through the improvement of infrastructure, observing infrastructure, modeling system, computers, communication, to take the nation to the new dimension of weather ready nation.
Dr. Ramesh, we keep hearing about the IMD Vision 2047 document.
Yes.
What are the salient features of the IMD Vision 2047 document?
By 2047, when our Vikasit Bharat dream is there, we want to take the nation to a level of weather management. Weather management in the sense, whatever expected damage at the moment is happening from the extreme weather, we are not able to control it. Target is to build those technologies in such a way that we can manage the weather by 2047. So first test for that would be if India gets the Olympic hosting opportunity in 2045. So that will be the time when we should ensure that no Olympic event will get impacted or disturbed by the weather.
Dr. Ramesh, we are celebrating, the IMD is celebrating its 150th year's history. Tell us more about the IMD's history, its journey over the last 150 years, if you will.
See, IMD started for generating and reporting the extreme weather event and drought and other rainfall and temperature related information in 1875. Because of not having that coherent information generated at the country scale, we were not able to assess the coming changes day to day and monthly on that aspect. At that time, when IMD was started by British India, different kingdoms were having observatories, and that data was not getting collated. So first effort was to collate all the data at the central level and start preparing a meteorological weather report through at the national level through a concerted effort developed by the India Meteorological Department. And subsequently, so many droughts and other things were happening. Then British India requested distinguished academicians from University of Oxford and Cambridge. So by bringing Professor Sir Gilbert Walker to head India Meteorological Department, where he started long-range forecasting of monsoon in way back in 1890 itself. So that was the sort of forecasting work started by British acclaimed and world-famous mathematicians, and working for India to build the early warning capabilities for monsoon. And subsequently, up to 1934, several British people only headed the India Meteorological Department. Subsequently, from 34 onwards, India Meteorological Department was headed by Indians.
Dr. Ramesh, the viewers watching this broadcast, some of them would be agriculturists, professionals in the armed forces or aviation or transport industry. How would you explain the benefits of what the IMD is doing to the various stakeholders, be it farmers, soldiers, pilots, airlines, urban planners, or even environmentalists?
See, already IMD services, half of the manpower of IMD works for aviation.
Right.
Aviation safety. In all the airports, aviation meteorological services are there. So 50% is on aviation. Aviation is ever increasing capacity in India, new airports, new aircrafts and night landing facilities, landing due to fog conditions and low visibility conditions. So challenges of aviation which are met, and continuously IMD will be meeting them. And then agriculture is the another area where weather-based agro-meteorological advisory services are acclaimed world over, provided by India. On water resources, Central Water Commission and IMD share the rainfall information at about 156 sub-river basins of India on daily basis for assessing the inflow forecasts from the rainfall happening in the catchment area to various reservoirs, and accordingly, based on the rainfall forecast, reservoir water releases are also planned. So water resources is already there. Now with the dengue and chikungunya, public health alerts are developed. We are working with the Indian Council of Medical Research to make them more operational and alert the urban local bodies, municipalities, corporations to take preemptive actions to avoid the incidence of dengue and chikungunya. So these are some of the newer initiatives that are happening on transport sector with railway, after aviation, with railway and surface transport and all toll plazas. Some early warning systems for fog and highway visibility conditions, some efforts are going on. So they will be rolled out in very near future. But the more important sector is the power sector, where renewable energy, wind energy, solar energy, we are giving in a big way.
Right.
Sunshine hours and the wind potential for the whole day, for every 3-hourly window that is provided to renewable energy operators. So that work is going to expand in a big way because of our priority to increase our generation through renewable energy sources.
And finally, Dr. Ramesh, there's a lot of interest worldwide about new technologies, including AI, artificial intelligence. Is the IMD harnessing the powers of AI, or does it plan to?
Yes, already IMD is working on building the tools based on the machine learning and artificial intelligence applications. And several of the algorithms are under experimentation to see which one works for which. For heat wave, we may work on a set of AI/ML tools. For heavy rainfall forecast, and that too, hill states combination of AI/ML tools will be different from the coastal states. So like that, we are identifying region-wise and extreme event-wise, identifying which combination of AI/ML tools work better for different parts of India. And efforts is on, but you will see the results in a couple of years.
All right, on that note, Dr. Ramesh, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts and insights with our viewers at home and abroad. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Right, moving on, India's Defence Minister Rajat Singh celebrated Armed Forces Veterans Day in Jammu and Kashmir's Akhnur district on Tuesday. The event was attended by Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir Manoj Sinha, Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, the Chief of Defence Staff and other senior military and civil officials. Veterans from various districts attended the event. As a special gesture, mobility equipment like motorized wheelchair, e-scooter and auto rickshaw were distributed to the veterans. The minister also inaugurated the Akhnur Heritage Museum during his visit. At the event, the minister addressed the gathering, emphasizing on the importance of this day and the celebration at Akhnur.
इस बार का वेटरन्स डे समारोह हम सब अखनूर कश्मीर में मना रहे हैं। यह निश्चित रूप से हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ा क्षण है। अखनूर में वेटरन्स डे का मनाया जाना इस बात को साबित करता है कि हमारे दिल में जो स्थान दिल्ली का है, वही स्थान अखनूर का है, वही स्थान यह कश्मीर का है। आप सब ऐसी जलवायु में भी, ऐसे माहौल में भी तमाम चुनौतियों के बावजूद एकदम मजबूत मुस्तैद होकर हमारी सीमाओं की सुरक्षा करते हैं। मैं समझता हूँ ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है।
So 14th January is celebrated as Veterans Day in India. DD India's Nandita Dagar tells you more.
The Armed Forces Veterans Day is celebrated in India on January the 14th to pay respects to the ex-servicemen for their selfless duty and sacrifices and to reinforce solidarity towards the next of kin of these brave hearts. Wreath-laying ceremonies and veterans rallies are organized all across the country to mark the day. Armed Forces Veterans Day is celebrated on the 14th of January every year to recognize the service rendered by the first Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army, Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa, who retired on this day in 1953. The day was first celebrated in 2016 and it is commemorated every year by hosting interactive events in the honor of the ex-servicemen. The Defence Minister usually leads the celebrations by asserting the unwavering commitment of the Indian government towards the welfare of ex-servicemen. But the day also reminds the citizens that it is a collective responsibility of the people to treat the soldiers and their dependents as their own family and ensure that they stand with them always. The bravery, integrity and professionalism of the Indian soldier is respected and recognized not just by the whole country but by the entire world. Sagar Samvad, Vayu Samvedana and Samman magazines are yearly journals published by the Directorate of Ex-Servicemen Affairs of the Indian Navy, Air Force and Indian Army respectively. They relay information, policies and various topics of interest for the veterans. In New Delhi, this is Nandita Dagar for DD India.
Still to come on DD India News Hour. India celebrates the harvest festivals of Pongal and Behu. And V. Narayanan takes charge as Chief of India's Space Agency.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. And now to all the news from the Maha Kumbh, the largest gathering of humans anywhere on the planet. The Maha Kumbh 2025, which began in Prayagraj with chants of bhajans and slogans on Posh Purnima on 13th January, witnessing its first Amrit Snan or the holy dip of akhadas on the occasion of Makar Sankranti. Millions of people gathered in Prayagraj to take the holy dip in the Sangam, the confluence of the rivers Ganga, Yamuna and the mythical Saraswati. This Mahakumbh is being held after 12 years, although seers claim that the celestial alignments and cosmic combinations for the event are occurring after 144 years, marking the occasion even more auspicious. The Kumbh Mela, one of the largest religious gatherings in the world, continues to draw millions of pilgrims with various rituals, cultural activities and spiritual events scheduled throughout the festival. The first Amrit Snan of the Mahakumbh took place on Tuesday morning, coinciding with Makar Sankranti. On this auspicious day, the Naga sadhus were the first to bathe at the Sangam, followed by the general public. Sadhus or saints of the 13 akhadas of Sanatan Dharma are taking the holy dip at the Triveni Sangam on Tuesday. The 13 akhadas are divided into three groups: Sannyasi, who are Shaivite, Bairagi, who are Vaishnav, and Udasin. The sacred baths are meticulously organized for the 13 akhadas or monastic orders with designated time slots. The devotees take the holy dip after the akhadas take the Amrit Snan. The Amrit Snan holds immense spiritual significance, as it is believed that taking a dip at the Sangam on this day grants manifold blessings. It's believed that bathing on the day of the Amrit Snan brings immense spiritual benefits. Devotees believe it frees them of the sins and paves the way for moksha or the ultimate salvation? And DD India's Siddharth Bharadwaj sent us this report from Prayagraj. Take a look.
Kumbh 2025 is believed to be the largest religious peaceful gathering on earth. It's the second day. This mega festival has started. Today is a very important day. It's known as Amrit Snan, and today is the first Amrit Snan on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, when the sun is transitioning from the southern hemisphere to northern hemisphere. I am here at Arel Ghat, where here is Yamuna river, and people from all walks of life are coming to take holy dip in the holy waters of Triveni Sangam, which is the confluence of river Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Here you can see behind me, this is river Yamuna where I am standing. There is river Ganga, and the confluence of all the three holy rivers is known as Triveni Sangam, which you can see near the flags. People from all walks of life are coming here to take holy dip in the holy waters of Kumbh, and the security arrangements are certainly tight. There is 7-layer security that has been deployed, and the government is leaving no stone unturned to make sure that this grand festival is smooth, peaceful and calm. We had a word with some of the pilgrims who said that no matter how much the temperature will dip, but this temperature cannot break their enthusiasm. With camera person Rakesh Kumar, this is Siddharth Bharadwaj reporting for DD India in Prayagraj.
Now, Makar Sankranti, celebrated across India with different names and traditions, marks the transition of the sun into the zodiac sign of Capricorn. Known as a harvest festival, it symbolizes the end of winter and the beginning of longer, sunnier days. Kriti Vadhera reports on the festive spirit.
Makar Sankranti, also known as Uttarayan, Pongal and Lori in different parts of India, is a festival of joy, harvest and gratitude. The day is marked by colourful traditions, from flying kites in Gujarat to celebrating Pongal in South. The festival holds immense religious significance, the devotees taking dips in sacred rivers like the Ganga and Yamuna, offering special prayers to Sun God and seeking blessings for health and prosperity. As the skies fill with colourful kites and hearts with renewed hope, Makar Sankranti is a reminder to celebrate life's transition with joy and gratitude. Down south, Makar Sankranti transforms into Sankranti Sambaralu. In Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, it is celebrated as Pongal and Sankranti Sambaralu respectively. It is celebrated as a 4-day festival where families decorate their homes with rangoli, also called as columns, and prepare special dishes. Holy dips are a significant part of celebrations in states like West Bengal and Bihar, where the festival is called Posh Sankranti. People gather at riversides to pray and take part in fairs. From north to south and east to west, Makar Sankranti showcases India's unity in diversity, celebrating the harvest, nature and gratitude. Kriti Vadhera's report for DD India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended his greetings. Sharing a post on X, he wrote, and I quote, "Many best wishes to all countrymen on Makar Sankranti. May this holy festival dedicated to the Uttarayan sun bring new energy and enthusiasm in your life," unquote. He also extended his greetings on X, and I quote, "Have a wonderful Uttarayan. May this festival bring success and happiness in everyone's lives," unquote. The main Magh Behu kickstarts on Tuesday all across the northeastern Indian state of Assam. This gastronomical festival celebrates the transit of sun from the southern hemisphere to the northern hemisphere. Therefore, at dawn, people burn holy mejis, that's bonfires, all across the state. Various Assamese delicacies are prepared, made from new rice harvest. Pithas made of sesame, jaggery, coconut are handcrafted by women and offered to the fire god and their ancestors. Community feasts, joyous meetings with family and friends fill the hearts of Assamese people with warmth, love and brotherhood. Prime Minister Modi on X extended his best wishes on Magh Behu. He wrote, and I quote again, "Best wishes on Magh Behu. We celebrate the abundance of nature, the joy of harvest and the spirit of togetherness. May this festival further the spirit of happiness and togetherness." Unquote. And joining me from Assam is my colleague Subina Roy. Subina, tell us more about the festivities. Give us a flavor of the celebration in the state and also Bihu greetings to you as well.
Behu greetings and Makar Sankranti greetings to you as well, Ramesh, and all the Doordarshan viewers and my colleagues in Doordarshan. This is a joyous occasion for Assam, as the whole of Assam is immersed in festive spirit. And Behu means, Behu has derived from the word Vishu, which means peace. And Bhogali Behu means eating. It is basically a gastronomical festival where people are connected through food, and these food traditions have continued for generations. Now, first let us talk about the traditions that happened. Yesterday on the eve of Magh Behu, it is called Uruka, when the youngsters, prepare makeshift cottages called bhela ghors, and they prepare the food, different kinds of, delicacies, exquisite Assamese delicacies are prepared, showcasing the culinary spread and rich cultural tapestry of Assam, like duck curry and various kinds of dishes are prepared. Talking about the women in households prepare different kinds of cuisines like til picha, narikol picha. One thing to be reminded is that, Ramesh, here, this is the winter time and the harvest have just arrived, there are different types of glutinous rice that are available in Assam, like humul saul, bara saul. So with these various kinds of rice, different kinds of pichas are prepared, like til picha, narikol picha. Then we have sunga picha, where the hollow bamboo is used to prepare pichas from rice flour with smoky, with flavor, And then we have kula sapori picha, which resembles a kind like dosa, and it is served with aloo bhaji and all. So these are the delicacies which are prepared on the day of Uruka. Now, the main day of Magh Behu starts at previous, early dawn, when the men everyone in the households take bath, and then they sit by the Meji, prayer for pichas, betel nut, pan, and they offer heva to the fire god and to their ancestors. And seek the blessings for a better harvest, and it is also a gratitude towards the nature. Ramesh.
Subina, thank you. Appreciate it. Excitement fills the air across the southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu as well, as families celebrate Pongal, the harvest festival. As the sun embarks on its northward journey, households are buzzing with preparations for this 4-day celebration that honors the sun, earth and the cattle's role in providing a bountiful harvest. Communities are gearing up to prepare the traditional sweet Pongal dish, a delightful concoction of newly harvested rice, milk and jaggery. The aroma of freshly cut sugarcane and turmeric will soon waft through homes as families gather to observe the time-honored customs. The festival embodies the spirit of gratitude, bringing families and communities together to celebrate nature's bounty and welcome new beginnings. And joining me from Tamil Nadu is my colleague Anbarasan Elango. Anbarasan, Pongal greetings to you. How are the festivities coming along in the state?
Good afternoon, Ramesh, and happy Pongal wishes to you. And as you know that the celebration of 4-day festival of the Pongal, which is started yesterday, is Bohi, and today is the Pongal, which is started in early morning, where a lot of people are, as mentioned in the report, that the rangolis, the kolams, the traditional pattern which is made by the rice flour. Started with that, and the families joined together. They made a pongal dish. The festival is named on that, and that dish added jaggery, milk and rice. After that making, there will be a they're making a very good join together and wishing everyone, and also to thank the sun god visit, because the festival mostly thanking the sun and also nature, because this today also celebrating for the farmers, and this event will be more on that, more thanking to nature, and this also will be a continuous next and tomorrow also. Tomorrow will be celebrated as a Matu Pongal, which is thanking cattle, and also the third day will be visiting Kanum Pongal, which will be a lot of people, means the family joined together visiting various places. This is on the Pongal celebration.
All right, we leave it there. Anbarasan Elango in Tamil Nadu. Thank you. Appreciate it. In other news, Dr. V. Narayanan officially assumed charge as the chairperson of the Indian Space Research Organization on Tuesday. He succeeds Dr. S. Somanath and brings with him a legacy of over 4 decades of exemplary service in India's space program. He also holds the charge of chairperson of the Space Commission and secretary of the Department of Space. Dr. Narayanan previously served as the director of the Liquid Propulsion Systems Center at ISRO. Still to come on DD India News Hour. India's External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar addresses the Indian diaspora in Spain. South Korea court adjourns the opening session of President Yoon's impeachment trial.
This week on Defense Dynamics, unravel the secrets behind India's revolutionary CATS warrior prototype. What are these CATS and how will they redefine the warfare? Why is making fighter jet engines still a monumental challenge? We analyze the hurdles. Can Donald Trump bring an end to Ukraine war after January 20th? A geopolitical analysis you can't miss. Updates on India-Maldives defense ties and the evolving dynamics of Afghan-India relations. This Wednesday at 8 p.m. IST only on DD India.
You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A quick recap of the headlines. Millions take a holy dip or Amrit Snan at Maha Kumbh, the world's largest spiritual congregation at Prayagraj in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches Mission MOSUM to improve India's weather forecasting. Strong winds are forecast to return and threaten Los Angeles area's fight against fires. And US President Biden says a Gaza ceasefire and hostage deal in sight. Negotiators to meet in Doha. High-stakes negotiations aimed at ending over 15 months of conflict in Gaza and securing the release of hostages held by Hamas are reported to be advancing. Mediators gave Israel and Hamas a final draft of a deal on Monday after a midnight breakthrough in talks attended by envoys of both outgoing US President Joe Biden and the incoming President-elect Donald Trump. Biden said a ceasefire and hostage release deal he had championed was on the brink of coming to fruition, and Hamas said it was keen on reaching an agreement.
The war between Israel and Hamas are on the brink of a proposal that I laid out in detail months ago, finally coming to fruition. The deal we have structured would free the hostages, halt the fighting, provide security to Israel, and allow us to significantly surge humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians who suffered terribly in this war that Hamas started. Israel deserves peace and real security, and the hostages and their families deserve to be reunited. And so we're working urgently to close this deal.
Biden will speak to Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi soon, as he had earlier done with the leaders of Israel and Qatar. While another round of talks are planned in Doha on Tuesday morning local time to finalize the remaining details. Trump's West Asia envoy Steve Witkoff and Biden's envoy Brett McGurk are expected to attend, as they had on Monday. An Israeli official said negotiations were in advanced stages for the release of up to 33 hostages as part of the deal. The United States, Qatar and Egypt have worked for more than a year now on talks to end the conflict in Gaza. Firefighters are fighting to extinguish brush fires which broke out in California's Ventura County after new massive wildfire broke out amid strong winds on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Los Angeles wildfire left an apocalyptic landscape. At least 24 people have died in the fires. The return of high winds threatens the hard-won progress that crews have made in containing the fires. More in the next report.
As flames rage across California, state and federal agencies are scrambling to protect lives and property. The wildfires, fueled by record heat and dry conditions, have scorched thousands of acres and forced widespread evacuations. However, with strong Santa Ana winds returning, California officials are bracing for new problems. Forecasters say extremely critical fire weather conditions were developing in the region, with winds already gusting to 120 kilometers per hour in parts of Los Angeles. National Weather Service said these will make new ignitions much more likely. As firefighting operations are stretched to the hilt, the authorities are also facing the daunting task to keep looters at bay. The Los Angeles District Attorney has unveiled new charges aimed at holding criminals accountable for exploiting the chaos of the disaster.
Today we're here to announce that the promise that we made when we started this, that these criminals would be arrested, they would be prosecuted, and they will be maximally punished, is a promise we are keeping. As we announced today, the charges being filed on 10 different individuals, 9 of them for looting, in both the Palisades and the Eden fires, and 1 for arson.
While the fires continue to ravage parts of the state, residents remain hopeful as federal and international help pours in. White House has activated emergency response teams with resources allocated to support local fire crews and provide shelter for displaced families. President Joe Biden has pledged immediate federal assistance but added that rebuilding will cost tens of billions of dollars.
You know, although the federal government is going to cover 100% of the cost for the next 180 days for things like firefighter overtime pay, debris removal, temporary shelters, it's going to cost tens of billions of dollars to get Los Angeles back to where it was. So we're going to need Congress to step up to provide funding to get this done. And we're going to get that done, God willing.
Large commercial banks, including JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America, have announced plans to ease mortgage repayment conditions for the afflicted. The entertainment and sports worlds have also stepped up to provide support. 12 Los Angeles pro sports teams on Monday pledged to donate a combined $8 million to support victims and firefighters. Help is also coming in from across the border. Mexican firefighters and equipment have been dispatched to join the firefighting ops.
We are from the Emergency Response Battalion of the Secretary of National Defense and are located in Santa Lucia, State of Mexico. We are specialized rescue troops and we are here to support the population and to give our best to them.
Experts warn that the situation may worsen as climate change intensifies the frequency and severity of wildfires across the region. Bureau Report, DD India.
And moving to South Korea's political turmoil, the Constitutional Court adjourned the opening session of the impeachment trial of suspended President Yoon Suk-yeol within minutes after he failed to attend court on Tuesday. A lawyer for Yoon said that the president would not attend his impeachment trial as he has been staying in his villa in Seoul for weeks. The lawyer explained that authorities' attempt to detain Yoon prevented him from expressing his position at the trial. The next trial session is due to take place on Thursday. And if Yoon decides not to attend again, his legal team will represent him during the proceedings. Yoon's lawyer further said that Yoon would decide whether to attend the trial in person on Thursday after discussions regarding his defense strategy. The Constitutional Court must decide within 180 days whether to remove Yoon from office or restore his presidential powers. President Yoon Suk Yeol is also under criminal investigation for alleged insurrection. Authorities are seeking to execute an arrest warrant after he ignored summons to appear for questioning. Yoon's lawyer reiterated that the arrest warrant issued by investigating authorities was invalid and Yoon would respond only to a valid detention warrant that is executed legally. South Korea's leadership crisis will play out in the Constitutional Court, which will decide the fate of President Yoon Suk Yeol and that of Prime Minister Han Duck-soo, both impeached and suspended from power over a short-lived martial law. Take a look at the following timeline.
South Korea's Constitutional Court adjourned the opening session of the impeachment trial of suspended President Yoon Suk Yeol after he did not attend court. The next trial session is scheduled for Thursday, and if Yoon also decides not to attend the trial, proceedings will start with his legal team representing him. After being impeached, Yoon's presidential powers have been suspended, but he remains in office, retaining his immunity from most charges except insurrection or treason. The Constitutional Court must decide within 180 days whether to remove Yoon from office or restore his presidential powers. If it removes Yoon or he resigns, a presidential election must be held within 60 days. South Korea's constitution requires 6 justices to agree on the ouster of an impeached president. As part of the push to speed up proceedings, the court has already set times of some future sessions to twice a week, including one on Thursday. Yoon also faces criminal investigations related to the martial law decision.
North Korea on Tuesday fired an unidentified missile towards the east coast of South Korea. South Korea's military said North Korea fired an unidentified projectile towards East Sea. The launch came about a week after the North Koreans fired what it claimed was a new intermediate-range hypersonic ballistic missile, which was North Korea's first missile test since the 5th of November. The latest launch also occurred days before U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, who held unprecedented summits with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un during his first term and has touted their personal rapport, returns to office. More than 24 illegal miners have been rescued and at least 9 bodies have been recovered from an abandoned gold mine in South Africa. Rescue operations resumed on Tuesday as teams continue efforts to reach potentially dozens more people trapped underground. On Monday, a professional mine rescue company deployed a large cage to retrieve miners at the site near Stilfontein. Thousands of illegal miners, many from other countries, are believed to be operating in abandoned mine shafts across South Africa, a country rich in minerals. This operation comes after weeks of controversy at the site, where authorities have been accused of attempting to force the miners to surface by limiting food and water supplies, which were lowered to them by the surrounding communities. India's External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar is on a visit to Spain, where he addressed the Indian diaspora on Monday. During his meeting with the diaspora, the minister remarked that India-Spain relations are on the cusp of significant advancement. He spoke about India's increasing role on the global stage. He said that soon there will be a Spanish consulate in India's Bengaluru city. Moreover, the minister also highlighted India's position as a global leader. He stressed that having good ties with India is in the interest of many countries today.
There are very few countries today who are in a position to talk to Russia and to Ukraine. आपने देखा होगा हाल ही में पिछले साल प्रधानमंत्री मोदी रशिया भी गए 2 बार, यूक्रेन भी गए कीव में. Who are in a position to talk to Israel and Iran. And PM Modi is able to do both. Who are in a position to be members of Quad and be members of BRICS. So this is something which is actually very, very unique.
Still to come on DD India News Hour. US President Joe Biden imposes curbs on AI chip exports. And India beats Nepal in the opening match of the Maiden Kho-Kho World Cup. You're watching DD India News Hour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Electric car sales rose by 25% globally in 2024, surging in China but slowing in Europe. According to figures published by the British consultancy Raw Motion, a record 17.1 million battery electric vehicles were sold last year across the world. In Europe, including Britain, Iceland, Norway and Switzerland, sales slipped by 3% to 3 million vehicles after 4 years of strong growth. In an overall declining market in Europe, hybrids took the largest market share at the expense of petrol and diesel vehicles. Electric vehicle sales also rose in the United States and Canada, climbing 9% to 1.8 million vehicles. The United States unveiled new export rules for AI chips on Monday, aiming to limit the access to this vital technology to China and others, and further tightening Washington, D.C.'s control over the world's most advanced technology. DD India's Harshita Oberoi has more.
The Biden administration has unveiled new export restrictions aimed at preventing China and other rivals from accessing advanced artificial intelligence chips. The move is part of Washington's broader strategy to maintain its lead in AI technology and safeguard national security as China accelerates its own tech advancements. Under these new rules, any export, re-export, or in-country transfer of advanced chips will require authorization from the US government. Nations that are not considered friendly to the US will face strict caps on chip imports, while AI data centers must meet enhanced security standards to access these technologies. The restrictions mark a significant escalation in Washington's ongoing battle to curb China's technological rise. Beijing wasted no time in responding, accusing the US of violating international trade rules and pledging to protect its interests. At the same time, the European Union expressed its concerns, arguing that the US was unfairly restricting access to vital technology for its allies. EU officials stressed that Europe poses no security threat to the US and warned that the move could harm mutual economic interests. Even the US industry leaders are sounding the alarm. The Semiconductor Industry Association criticized the move, warning it could damage US competitiveness. Nvidia and OpenAI argued the rules would stifle innovation and harm US global leadership in AI. The White House insists that the new rules are necessary to prevent China and other rivals from bypassing export controls. The rules will go into effect in 120 days, just as President-elect Donald Trump prepares to take office. This gives him the opportunity to adjust or halt the measures, but freezing them could risk allowing China to stockpile US technology. As tensions rise, the US faces a delicate balancing act, preserving its technological lead while navigating the risks of alienating both allies and global markets. The long-term effects of this move could reshape the AI landscape for years to come. Harshita Oberoi's report, DD India.
And now to news from the world of sport. The Indian men's team defeated Nepal in the opening match of the inaugural Kho-Kho World Cup at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi on Monday. Before the clash, India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Sports Minister Mansukh Mandaviya and IOA President PT Usha were among the high-profile personalities that attended the star-studded opening ceremony. Led by captain Pratik Vaikar, India got off to a brilliant start in the tournament as it registered a comfortable 42-37 win over Nepal. India is set to clash against Brazil on Tuesday. Meanwhile, in the women's section, the host will kick off their campaign against South Korea. In badminton, Indian duo Tanisha Crasto and Dhruv Kapila beat the pair of CK Chen and Yin Hui Su to advance to the pre-quarterfinals of the India Open. Crasto and Kapila advanced to the round of 16 in the mixed doubles category by beating their opponents 8-21, 21-19, 21-17. With this win, the hosts have started off their campaign on a positive note. Other Indian players leading the charge for India in the event are Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy, Chirag Shetty, Lakshya Sen, H.S. Pranoy and P.V. Sindhu. Taylor Fritz of the US beat compatriot Jensen Brooksby to storm the second round of the Australian Open on Tuesday. The world number 4 wasted little energy to power past fellow American Jensen Brooksby 6-2, 6-0, 6-3 at the John Cain Arena. Fritz will clash against Chile's Christian Garin in the second round. Meanwhile, Holger Rune also emerged victorious in a tough 5-set battle against China's Zhang Zhizhen to advance to the second round of the Australian Open. Rune overcame early nerves to set up a round 2 clash with former world number 6 from Italy, Matteo Berrettini. In the women's singles, Emma Navaro and Emma Raducanu advanced to the second round of the Australian Open. World number 8 Emma Navaro outlasted Peyton Stearns in a grueling 3-hour and 20-minute affair at Rod Laver Arena. Navaro has set up a second-round clash against Chinese left-hander Wang Shiyu. On the other hand, Raducanu reached the second round for the 4th year in a row after beating 26th-seeded Ekaterina Alexandrova. Raducanu had to dig deep in both the sets to advance to the second round, where she will face America's Amanda Anisimova. Tamil Nadu Dragons edged past unfortunate Delhi SG Pipers 3-2 in the Hockey India League in Rourkela on Monday. Pipers dominated the proceedings in the opening quarter. However, Dragons' clinical approach and better control fetched them quick goals early in the second quarter that proved decisive. Once again, it was Jensen who shined for the Dragons. His all-round performance has been the cornerstone for the team's success this season. This marks Dragons' 4th outright victory, while Pipers, who have had a mediocre season so far, continue to lie at the bottom of the table. Former world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury has announced his retirement from boxing. Fury's announcement comes after he was beaten by Alexander Usyk in a unanimous decision on 21st December in their rematch, which saw the Ukrainian unify the heavyweight world titles. Fury leaves the sport with a sterling professional record of 35 fights with 32 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses with 2 defeats at the hands of Usyk in the past year. India will face Ireland in their 3rd and final Women's One-Day International in Rajkot on Wednesday, aiming to complete a series sweep after 2 dominant victories. The first ODI, Pratika Rawal and Tejal Hasabnis led India to a 6-wicket win with a crucial 100-run stand. The second ODI saw India post a massive 370-run total with Jemima Rodrigues smashing a century. Deepti Sharma led the bowling attack to restrict Ireland to 254. With captain Smriti Mandhana leading from the front, India will look to maintain their winning momentum and finish the series on a high. In cricket, South Africa has announced their squad for the ICC Champions Trophy 2025. The 15-man squad, led by Themba Bavuma, has 10 players who competed in the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup, where South Africa reached the semi-finals. Pacers Anrich Nokia and Lungi Njidi will be making their return, while fresh additions like Tony De Zorzi, Ryan Rickleton and Wian Mulder are set to make their debut. The Proteas have won the Champions Trophy just once in 1998, which was the inaugural edition of the tournament. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on your screens now to download it. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.